A once peaceful countryside in Morocco has been thrown into chaos as wild boars multiply across the region. Few could imagine the destruction these beasts bring. In a single night, barley fields and olive groves are torn apart, leaving fear and frustration in their wake. The village's calm is under siege, and we know it's time to take action, to head out and hunt these invaders, protecting the homeland we love. At dawn, our team gathers at Nick's house. Rifles checked, scopes aligned, spare rounds ready. We're set for the mission ahead. By 6:30, we push deep into the orange groves, scanning the terrain and finalizing our movement plan. Before we're even done talking, dark shapes dart across the field. Instantly, everyone takes position, eyes locked, hearts steady. The herd bolts for the thickets. I line up my shot and squeeze the trigger. One clean hit, the boar drops. Our first success of the day, and the crops behind us are safe. The hunt has officially begun. A few lucky boars break free from our initial volley, racing toward a narrow forest trail. From above, the drone spots them weaving through the brush. The hounds close in, flushing them into the open. My scope locks on target, one decisive pull of the trigger, and the beast collapses. The teamwork between man and dog pays off perfectly, precise, efficient, exactly as planned. Not far away, Nick has his eyes on another wild boar near the trail. The animal bursts out, charging fast. Nick gives chase. The boar catches sight of him and turns aggressive, ready to strike, but it's too late. Nick locks on, whispers his ritual, time to meet the reaper, and fires. One shot, clean and final. The beast drops. I exhale in relief watching him finish the job, restoring calm to the land once more. What do you think of that moment? Share your thoughts below. As we move to another site, faint rustles in the brush grab our attention. Years of experience and the dog's sharp barks tell me it's close. I take position, waiting. Just as predicted, the boar bursts from cover. No hesitation. I raise my rifle, aim steady, and fire. The bullet hits its flank, but the beast manages to flee downhill. Minutes later, we find it collapsed beside a creek. It's moments like these that test a hunter's nerve and skill. And today, we've proven once again that courage and precision restore peace to our lands. As dusk settles, we get a call from Farmer. The boars have returned. We spin the trucks around and race back to the orange grove with renewed determination. The team fans out, closing the circle. The herd bolts, straight toward John's ambush point. A massive boar charges through. John steadies his aim and fires. One perfect shot, the giant drops where it stands. From now on, these fields can finally rest. No more ruined harvests, no more sleepless nights for the villagers. Every shot we take is a promise, trading gunfire for peace. The confrontation ends, and the countryside breathes easy again. We ride back in the 2025 Ford Ranger, the truck bed loaded with hefty wild boars, and hearts light with the satisfaction of protecting our community.
The rampage of wild boars in many rural areas has reached alarming levels. They devastate crops, attack livestock, and make life for locals more precarious than ever. Today, we'll follow two seasoned hunters, Max and John, on their mission to confront the most dangerous and destructive wild boar herds. Let's dive in. From the very first moments, we witnessed a chaotic scene. A large herd of wild boars fleeing from the field they had just ravaged. In the thick cloud of dust, an injured boar lagged behind. Acting on instinct, Max sprang into action, closing in on the target. This was the moment. A decisive shot, downing the opponent in an instant. Max continued the pursuit across the field, where fresh tracks were still visible. It seemed a few stragglers were still hiding nearby. Just minutes later, a wild boar bolted through the grass. Without hesitation, he raised his rifle, pulled the trigger. The bullet struck a vital spot, and the boar collapsed with a brief roar. Not long after, Max spotted another herd of wild boars casually foraging in the grass, completely unaware they were being watched. He approached quietly from behind, moving slowly but steadily, controlling his breathing, adjusting his scope. Boom! The first boar dropped, followed by a rapid succession of shots. Quick, clean, and precise. Wild boars may be ferocious, but when ambushed at the right moment, they have little chance to fight back. While inspecting the scene, Max suddenly noticed fresh tracks leading westward. The hunt was far from over. A few wild boars managed to escape our sights, but Max didn't give up. He followed their tracks, pinpointing their hiding spots. When the opportunity arose, not a single shot was wasted. One by one they fell, earning the admiration of the entire team. At the same time, a massive wild boar, cornered by the hunting dogs, struggled to break free, but Max was quick to arrive. After a sharp, resounding shot, the beast lay motionless on the grass. However, wild boars don't just roam the plains. They also slink through forests, hiding in the darkness and thick fog. To protect the forest from their destruction, another hunter stepped into action. In a dense northern forest, John faced a massive herd of wild boars, fleetingly appearing and disappearing through the heavy fog. Despite limited visibility and treacherous terrain, he remained calm. And then, as dark shapes flickered into view, John struck decisively. Each shot took down a target. Wild boars are cunning and agile creatures, often moving along familiar trails, and John knew this well. He chose an ideal ambush spot and waited silently. When the herd appeared, numerous and chaotic, John, with his experience, calmly took them down one by one. A series of shots rang out. One shot, one kill. The remaining boars fled in vain. It's clear that sometimes patience is a hunter's sharpest weapon. The next morning, John continued the journey. This time, things grew more intense as wild boars appeared everywhere. Undaunted, he swiftly engaged, taking down each target one by one. With his tracking skills and lightning-fast reflexes, John felled several more boars. In the days ahead, the battle against wild boars is far from over. In the fields, deep forests, or even near residential areas, they continue to emerge, and hunters like Max and John must remain ready to fight every day. Every year around this time, the villagers of Gaziel-Kum gather for the great wild boar hunt, not just for sport, but to protect their crops, livestock, and to stockpile food for the harsh winter ahead. This year, I was lucky to join my close friend on this intense journey. Well prepared, we stepped into the hunting grounds, a place that tests the courage and steel will of the bravest hunters. Join us in this thrilling hunt, where every moment is a fight for survival, and every skill is sharpened in the fire of challenge. Navigating the rugged trails leading into Gaziel-Kum's hills, I quietly drove our trusty hunting vehicle to the ambush point. The moment my boots hit the ground, I moved with steady steps toward the chosen spot. The wind howled across the barren hilltop as I picked a high vantage point with a clear view, quickly melting into the shadows. Soon enough, a target appeared on the far slope. This was the golden moment. The bullet left the barrel, flying straight and true. The beast fell, a perfect opening shot, setting the tone for what promises to be a hunt full of adrenaline. After a silent wait with no luck, he crept along the hillside, shifting direction to track a new prey. Suddenly, Jay stopped, eyes bright. "There it is," he whispered. I immediately adjusted my scope, locking onto the target. Shots rang out crisp and sharp. The lead boar dropped with the first shot. The rest scattered in panic. But despite their frantic escape, none got past the deadly, precise coordination between me and the team. A flawless strike. Not one escape. No mistakes. The hunt pressed on. Suddenly, the baying of hunting dogs echoed nearby. A clear signal. The boars were close. The dogs, blending instinct and training, drove the prey right into our trap. There it was. The beast entered my sights. No hesitation. Bullets sliced through the air, decisive and accurate. The wild boar collapsed, followed mid-charge. Gunfire erupted from multiple directions in a coordinated assault. We quickly regrouped, hauling our hard-earned trophies from day one, ready for the next challenge. The next morning, snow blanketed the hills in a cold, silent shroud. But the frost didn't slow us down. Instead, it sharpened our focus. The hunt continued, determination etched clearly against the icy white backdrop.
Göz at, göz at.
Battling sub-zero chills, we quietly approached the hillside, setting a new trap in silence. Through binoculars, the herd came into view, some straying alone. I chose to track a lone target, careful not to disturb the whole group. When the moment was right, I squeezed the trigger. Yeah, a perfect hit! A shot so clean there was no room for error. Without giving them time to react, my team and I quickly took down the rest. Gunshots echoed through the hill like the fierce anthem of the hunt. The fallen lay still, a testament to cold-blooded skill honed to perfection. We moved on to the neighboring hill, silently scanning every corner. The thick snow cover made it easy to spot dark shadows trying to hide. Without hesitation, shots cracked, shattering the silence. The chase ended with a thunderous roar. Once again, we confirmed our absolute dominion over this harsh land. The cold tightened its grip. Bone-chilling, intense silence cloaked every step. Wild boars scattered across the area like stubborn ghosts against the white snow. Hours of pursuit, and not one escaped. One by one, their bodies fell, marking the end of a relentless battle.
Unexpectedly, my visit to an old friend turned into a tough challenge. At first, I only planned to rest for a few days, but then James informed me that wild boars had started wreaking havoc, tearing up dozens of hectares. So, without hesitation, James and I jumped into the fight, determined to stop the wild beasts' advance. Could we reclaim peace for this land? Follow along our arduous and determined journey. At first light, just as the sun peaked over the horizon, our specialized hunting vehicle arrived at today's spot. Without hesitation, we moved swiftly into the area previously identified as a wild boar hotspot. Look at that. No mistake, they were busy grazing, completely unaware, as is typical for these beasts. I held my breath, squeezed the trigger decisively, a precise shot that kicked off today's hunt. Before I could even put my gun away, a signal from the team came through. There was a target at the edge of the field. Without hesitation, I dashed over, quick but alert, every sense on high alert, heart pounding with anticipation.
Snyggt. Lugnt.
The moment I spotted the target, a sharp gunshot cracked through the air. Perfect. Another trophy down, and this place was spared from destruction once again. A small victory, but one that strengthened our resolve on this challenging journey. We paused to rest, but vigilance never wavered for a single moment. Through the binoculars, a hefty wild boar, quietly foraging, came into clear view. The shot had to be precise, any mistake, and the beast could easily slip away. At over 100 meters, I carefully adjusted my aim. The moment arrived, I squeezed the trigger and hit the mark. The 150-kilogram boar dropped instantly. No matter how tough or fierce the target, we were determined to bring it down. Today's proof? The freedom of these fields, reclaimed with one well-placed shot. This vast grassy field offers great visibility, but is also a deadly trap for anyone unfamiliar with wild boars. With their cunning minds and lightning-fast speed, they can slip away and devastate the homeland if you're not prepared and quick to react the moment they appear. Only James, with his seasoned experience, can read the enemy's moves and take precise action the instant it shows up. The sun was fading, but our steps didn't stop as we moved to another corner of the field. Predicting they'd show up here, I took my position and waited in ambush. I took careful aim, and the gunshot rang out immediately. A perfect, decisive shot took down the destructive wild boar. Each shot isn't just a thrill, it's a duty to protect this. What do you think? The clock struck 6 p.m. as we quickly packed up and left the field, heading home after a long, exhausting day. A shadow flickered once more in James' sights. Every move he made was swift and precise, marking the final shot of the day's hunt.
Now on the fields, the traces left by the wild boar herd, with claws sharp as knives, have ravaged the land that the farmers have meticulously cultivated over the past months. The livelihoods of many families are at risk of being wiped out. There's no other option but to rise up and face these invaders. It's not just a battle with nature, but a fight for survival, for hope, and to protect every inch of land that belongs to the community. The vehicle rumbled across the rugged roads, bringing us closer to the fields of southern Brazil. From a distance, we could already spot the wild boars. The engine's roar startled them, sending them charging ahead. Nick quickly maneuvered the vehicle, creating the perfect distance for me to act. Everything happened like second nature. The shots rang out, each one finding its mark, dropping the targets one by one. Within minutes, the field fell silent again, the once vibrant figures now still, marking a strong start to today's hunt. After our perfect collaboration, we realized that moving by vehicle would alert the prey. We abandoned the truck, each step taken quietly, searching every corner with caution. Just 10 minutes in, the hounds had already caught the scent. With their well-honed tactics and training, they quickly surrounded the prey. My steps quickened as I closed in, just within range, and the shot rang out. Accurate! The threat to the field was stopped in time, securing the life here. As I dealt with my target, to the east of the field, John had quickly spotted another boar thanks to the sharp nose of his hounds. With the ideal distance and precise guidance from the pack, John brought down the giant boar in the blink of an eye. Before we could even catch our breath, another figure appeared. John immediately charged forward, racing up the hill. Though the boar tried to flee, it couldn't escape the well-placed shot, bringing the chase to a swift end. Realizing the situation had changed, John signaled for me to advance and intercept the targets hiding on the hillside. After splitting into positions, we quickly set up a new formation, each step deliberate as we moved forward. Predicting there would be wild boar in this area, I moved straight ahead to intercept. Sure enough, it arrived. Aiming carefully, I squeezed the trigger. The shot hit its mark. Every step, every decision was calculated. Victory was achieved through precision and patience. The open areas always provide the golden opportunity for quick targeting and locking in on the prey. Therefore, Nick's team was assigned to handle the boars hiding there. Soon after, gunshots rang out, signaling another successful attack. Just when we thought everything was over, a signal came through about the prey's location. This time, the situation was tougher than ever. Although John had taken decisive action, the boar stubbornly escaped. I quickly closed the distance, each step light and careful, avoiding detection. Then, a sharp shot echoed, precisely hitting the target, bringing down the massive creature. The destruction was halted, securing the peace for this place. Hunting wild boar is not just about bringing down the prey, but about the art of reading their movements, allowing us to deploy precise strategies and achieve the desired outcome. Each year, the wild boar hunting tournament pushes hunters to their limits. And this time, it's more than just a test of skill. It's a critical mission. With wild boar populations exploding out of control, ravaging crops and tipping the ecological balance, this hunt isn't just sport, it's survival. These beasts destroy farmland, push out rare species, and upset nature's equilibrium. So, I organized the tournament not only to protect the land, but to give true hunters, skilled, brave, and relentless, a chance to prove their worth. At first light, the teams were already gathered at the staging point, geared up and laser-focused. After a quick briefing, each squad split off, moving according to a tightly planned strategy. John's team was the first to strike gold. Knowing the terrain like the back of his hand, and with his four-legged partner sniffing out leads, he locked onto the target in seconds. A deep breath, a sharp pull of the trigger. Every shot landed with pinpoint precision, striking vital points. Beast, a massive brute, stood no chance against this seamless man and dog duo. John wasn't done. His eyes scanned the tree line, steady and unblinking. Sensing something, he split his team, assigning each hunter to cover a choke point. He knew what was coming. Let's see what John's picked up on. And there it is. He's in position. Target in sight. The scope aligns. Boom! One shot. Dead center. The boar was massive, easily pushing 200 kilograms. A clean takedown thanks to John's tactical smarts and deadly aim. But John wasn't the only sharpshooter in camp. Right after his ambush, Nick picked up on fresh tracks. No hesitation, he took off. As the distance between him and the fleeing boar closed, he raised his rifle and fired. One clean shot ended the chase on the spot. It wasn't just a victory, it was proof of the team's unity, focus, and shared mission to keep the land safe. While the western flank was roaring with action, the eastern side, where Thomas's team lay hidden, was eerily silent. For 15 tense minutes, they waited in absolute stillness. Then suddenly, movement. A silhouette emerged from the underbrush. That one moment of exposure was all Thomas needed. A single gunshot cracked through the forest, launching the next wave of the hunt. Thomas quickly realized ambush tactics wouldn't cut it anymore. He led his team in a direct push, relentless and fast. Shadows scattered. The team pursued without pause. One after another, the boars were brought down in a storm of gunfire and barks. Then, the dogs, well-trained, relentless, picked up a new trail. They tightened the circle, trapping the beast. And once again, Thomas delivered a final precise shot. One more threat gone in the deep quiet of the woods. As the sun dipped low, the hunt came to an end. Each team had achieved their mission. One by one, they made their way back, trophies in tow. But fate had one last twist for Thomas's team. Just as they were preparing to leave, a low sound approached. Closer, heavier. They were ready. A final booming shot echoed through the forest, sealing a perfect end to a long day of hunting. In that fading silence, only the wind and the breath of warriors remained. And with that breath, a silent promise. Every time we enter this forest, we return victorious.